Film study, whole bunch of plays from the Mississippi State win over Arizona. Mostly good plays and a few that maybe didn't go well, but a bunch of them. This film study and all the other content that I make here in the studio, the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio, is made possible by Farm Bureau Insurance of Mississippi. And I don't just mean the company. I'm talking about the people. Your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in your hometown, in your county, right down the street, I guarantee you know them. That relationship, knowing somebody, you have their cell phone, you can text them when you need them. I can't recommend Farm Bureau Insurance enough for that reason and many more. These certainly aren't the only meaningful plays in the game. That would take forever. So I just picked out a few high points. If you're watching this on YouTube, the channel markers are important. If you want to skip ahead to a play, you can click that timestamp or look on the bottom line right there, and that'll get you to where you want to go. But in this film study, I look at the first drive for State that didn't end in points, those turnovers, sort of how Arizona was able to climb back in the game, and then how State was able to clinch it and win it in overtime. But first, I want to start with what I think is a huge moment in the game, a humongous opportunity for Arizona that was turned into a winning moment for Mississippi State ultimately, and that was Jett Johnson, SEC Defensive Player of the Week, 3 consecutive plays, back to back to back, when he had to make a play to preserve his team's chance of winning the game and force the other team to kick a field goal. We'll start with those and then go from there. Here's Jett. He's going to read, recognize. This is 1st down and 10 of this series after they've gotten a big play down here in the Mississippi State territory. You can see on the field they're inside field goal range, yard to gain down inside the 20, so I guess the 17-yard line, in a game where State's up by 3. And so they're moving the ball. Less than 2 minutes in the game. It's a critical situation. They've been moving it. They have all the momentum in the game. They go score. They beat you, and there's no time left. And State's offense not really moving it length of the field anyway. So hold them to a field goal is really, really important, obviously. Watch the first play. See it go away, run it down. It's just an excellent play, a 3-yard tackle for loss on 1st down, and Jett reads, recognizes. Let's see what they have. You've got tight end into the boundary, ball on right hash, 3 receiver side, wide side. And if we look, it looks to me like, I don't know if it's slant, but I do know that he knows we're outside here with defenders next level here. So, you know, if this comes back this way, Jett's not worried about keep by the quarterback. And again, I don't know if he's reading the front or if he's reading the back, but something tells him right away. See that? I mean, just right away. There's no hesitation. It's straight into the lane. And then the instincts and ability to just sift right through. Nobody gets a hand on him. Great play on 1st down, set them up 2nd down and 13, put them against the chains. And look, you know, it sort of has that split look. Instead of tight end coming back, it's the other tackle coming back. Everybody else stepping through play side. And somebody, maybe it's this backside tackle supposed to get in here and cut him off, but he's so much quicker in his anticipation, nobody can get there. So just a big-time instinctual play. Now, here he is on 2nd down, dropping in pass coverage, 2nd, 13. They complete. And if he's lazy or if he's confused or if he's not watching the quarterback, right? So he's in zone coverage. He's in his responsibility, eyes in the backfield, watching the quarterback. And if he's not in the vicinity, then this is a completion that is turned up for a 1st down, either across the field or, you know, up here. But this is a guy who turns and finds a ball carrier and just get him on the ground somehow and able to get him on the ground here. And he's helped a little bit by the receiver lunges and doesn't quite know where the sticks are. But the reason he's lunging is because he can't comfortably turn and run because of where Jett is. And so he makes a play, stop him a yard short of the sticks on 2nd down so that now you bring up a 3rd down and 1. And I think this is maybe it's one of the most important plays of the game. I was a little disappointed in the television coverage in that they didn't have time to slow this down and just show you what a heck of a play this is. All right, so what Jett's going to do is see the inside give here on 3rd and 1. He's going to attack the offensive tackle kind of straight up. Watch him here. Attack the tackle, drive him back, stand him up, hit the ball carrier, and not go back. If Jett right here takes a step backwards, then they fall forward and get a first down, and their drive continues, and this game is totally different. Instead, it didn't happen. And he's got help. I mean, teammates certainly deserve credit. He's got some help in there because, if you look on the front, Pickering, this is a good play by him too, who's lined up basically at nose for you. Goes A-gap, head up, squeezes through. You can see Pickering right there squeeze through too. So there's no, real, clear vision for the back. But the thing about it is, if Jett is not here driving the backside tackle into the lane, then there's a chance that there's just enough room here for this back to just squeeze through and dive to the first down stick. Jett makes this play by crossing the tackle. If you look where the tackle lined up, okay, so the tackle lines up here with his feet at the 19. And on contact, look where he winds up. He winds up, he goes from the 19 where he lined up, and Jett's taking him back where his other foot is 1.5 yards away, into the lane of the running back. Sticks him up, stands him up, and then boom. The contact from the back, I think you got the quarterback in there pushing too. So you really have two players. This is another thing. You have the running back, and you have the quarterback hitting him, trying to drive him through Jett. And watch him absorb this lick with the help of Pickering. They ain't going anywhere. And if Jett is off balance, if he gets blocked, if he's not in the hole, this is a first down and the drive continues. It's a huge play, 1, 2, 3, and Jett Johnson right here preserves the game because it forces, look at that, forces the field goal attempt. Tie gaming preserves the opportunity to win the game in overtime. So that was late in the game. So let's go back to the beginning now, and we'll start with the first offensive series of the game for State. First offensive drive of the game. Right here you got Mike Wright in the ball game, and you're 2nd and 15, but you're going to get a bunch of that back. Wright is going to read what I think he's reading this, what we call the play side inside linebacker right here. I think that's what the read, looks like to me, where if he were to fly out here and, try to cut off your run, you're going to keep it behind him and go vertical as a quarterback. He would keep, if he stays or comes downhill, we're going to go ahead and give and run this thing wide, and that's what happens right here. See the linebacker step straight down into the tackle. Again, I'm guessing, but I think that's probably it. Is you see quarterback look, and if he's down, which he is, go ahead and give it out here because formationally you got some leverage. 3 receivers and the up back tight end, so 4 out on the perimeter in front of it. And that's the reason you do that, is because if he stays vertical and doesn't go, lateral in any way, then we think we can give and outrun him out here and get behind those blockers, and that's what happens. Outrun him, get a bunch of it back, fast kid, and I love this finish from Seth Davis. This is a freshman. I prefer the head up right here. You don't want him getting hurt. Probably a coaching point. But don't shy away from the contact. Keep your face up, run through it, and get all you can. Really nice job. Okay, and right here, a little yo-yo motion for Tulu. Bring him out, give him a chance to get it underneath with blockers out in front. Problem is, again, that's just guessing by what we see on film, but it looks like we got somebody blocking the wrong guy. Show you what I mean. So yo-yo motion coming back out. Little play fake here. If there's a read involved, I'm not aware. Maybe it is. Making it. The offense looks like run right here, back and O-line, so it's possible. But if it is a read for the quarterback, I think what he sees is I got 2 on 2. I got to run off and I got a blocker underneath. The problem is your slot goes inside. Now, maybe that's what he's told to do. I kind of have a hard time believing that because he goes inside, bypasses the first instead of coming out. He goes in. Maybe he's messed up. Maybe outside receiver is supposed to come in, but the corner's not there because the outside receiver ran it off. And it would seem to me with that look, if you could get a block here, we got a chance to catch it, turn it up and make a play. Instead, he's inside. Nobody blocks the slot corner, and it's straight down here. He blows you up on 1st and goal. Okay, so you come back on 3rd and goal, and kind of a similar deal where now the ball's on the right hash, but you have 2 over 2. So whether it's man or zone, kind of looks like a man, but it's a 2 over 2 deal with the outside looking like man, so you try to go underneath it. This time it's with the running back. And the quarterback sees it. You get what you want, run off of the corner, so you're on the edge, run off of the number 2 because you're vertical. But this guy's tracking it down. This is a good play right here to see it and get out there and not let him turn this thing up to the end zone. You know, and because you're on the right hash too, he's got the benefit of the sideline. That's the other thing is, you know, he's on the hash and he can push him to the sideline because you're on the right hash right here. So, you know, there's a little bit of a timing deal. I don't think Will's late with it. I mean, he's getting it out really quickly. It's just you got a short field to work with, and I think their guy makes a play. And it's narrow. I mean, it looks like he's got him right here, but you see what I mean? If he's a yard away, let's just say he's, you know, that's a step for him as he's running. If he's a yard away, then Woody's going to hit this thing and dive for the pylon and score. So it just shows you how it really is a game of inches sometimes. And so you get into the 4th down play here. And interesting formation. You're on the right hash. You got J-Rob lined up close. You get motion across with Tulu, and you're going to bring him deep and back out the backside of the formation, try to hit him underneath. And you do it, but you just need 1 block, and that's up top by Wally. And I'm going to show you Wally blocking later for a touchdown. So he's you know, this is just one where he missed it right here. Now, again, I don't know what the coaching points are, but, you know, you kind of get him locked out. You can't assume I've just got him right here. And I think, you know, he's looking. He's kind of looking to see where it is. And I just wonder if the coaching point is, hey, in this situation, don't look. Square him up. Stay up on him. You just trust the play. You don't need to see what's happening. You just need to block. And I think by turning his head right here to see where the ball's going is what allows the defender to shed him, throw him off, get underneath him, and get to the ball carrier. Because you stay on that one, then it's touchdown. And I think, you know, Justin's doing a good job. He's got to make this first one miss. He's got no choice, and he's trying to get inside of him. But, you know, here's one where get skinny, dip that shoulder, protect the football, and see if you can't drive in there with your legs. But instead, it's a touchback. All right, so here is interception on 2nd and 5. Banks, the safety, is going to make a play on the ball, and it ricochets the thing up here to Bookie Watson. So let's watch the play. They got 2x2 with a tight end, 2 routes in the middle, throws it in there, jumps it. Really nice, aggressive play by Banks, create for a teammate, and here we go. I'll show you a couple things that I saw. Pretty basic, but you can kind of see what happens on the play, what it looks like anyway. So if you look, pre-snap, ball on the right hash for the offense, and quarterback's looking up here to see what I've got. And it looks like 2 safeties back there, right? And they're splitting the hash where the ball is. But really what State's doing is center fielder in the middle of the field, deep third responsibility, deep third responsibility, deep third responsibility. And so it's cover 3. So that means that on the snap, he's really an underneath defender, sort of, you know, in here playing a zone coverage, matching up with whoever comes into his zone. And, you know, State kind of gives him a look of 4 on the front. The other thing they're doing is they're going to drop this side and come this side with 4. So just kind of turn that front on him and just give him a little bit of a different look. So on the snap, we'll get a different look later. 2 receivers in there. What brings Marcus Banks in is, again, it's zone coverage. And so this receiver goes out, the outside crosses him and comes in, and it's in his vision, and that's what kind of pulls him in there, looking at the quarterback into this area of the field where he sees the ball thrown and then makes a play on it. But 4 coming across kind of brings his attention in there to where the tight end is. Now, we'll see from behind, and it's good instincts catching a ball there by Bookie Watson. Big play momentum. here's what we're going to see. I don't know what their route is and what it's supposed to be, but what it winds up being against zone is, Bookie's getting into this middle underneath. Tight end crosses his face and is trying to get over the ball, finding the throwing lane. And 4 comes across, and they are in the exact same throwing lane. You just got one up and one here. Now, whether they design it that way or not, I don't know. But again, like I said, you're going to see 4 come across. That's what draws the attention of Banks, who's this underneath defender. And when it draws him, he sees the ball thrown and just goes after it. And I don't know who he's throwing the ball to, whether it's the underneath. Okay, so right here, if he's throwing here, it's an overthrow. It could be that he's throwing it here and throwing it through his guy, one or the other. I have done this. My freshman year, we were playing Arkansas, and I tried to hit a guy underneath, sailed it right over his head to a teammate out here, and for a big completion. And the coach said, "Did you do that on purpose?" And I told him, yeah, I did it on purpose. Anyway, this is an excellent break on the football right here. See it? Just making a play. Create for a teammate. Here we go. So you remember earlier we saw him defend a third receiver underneath 2 blockers you had a mix-up in the blocking, get underneath it, blow it up, right? We saw that. So State's going to come back and motion Creed Whittemore out of there where you're only going to have 1 blocker in front of the screen. But the hope is that it gets the attention of the defense where all we need is 1. We're just going to get 1 block and make 1 miss, and that's exactly what the design does. There goes Whittemore. Throw it underneath to Tulu, and here it is. Wally, who missed his block earlier, that led to the turnover in the end zone. Watch him right here. He's the reason you score. Well, boom, absorb it. Now, he doesn't get a pancake, but absorb. Look at his technique. Knows where the ball is going, recover, stay inside of him. Now, you're pulling the tackle out here as well. Okay, so and here comes Cam Jones. But he doesn't actually have to touch him because the corner helps it. Corner knows I can't make this tackle unless I get downfield. He's actually avoiding the block a little bit. Probably not a bad job, gives him a chance. If he takes on the tackle, he's got no chance, and it's a walk. But this is how quick Tulu is. He don't really need but 1 block, and right now Wally is giving it to him. It's an excellent job by Wally. Recover after getting popped, stay inside, get him into the end zone. Excellent job. All right, here's Jett Johnson's first interception of the ball game. And there is a lot to see here. This is really fun to watch. And I'm going to show you a couple things. We'll watch it. 4-man rush, kind of looping around there. Bookie gets his hands up. Jett's in the throwing lane, jumps it underneath. I don't think quarterback ever really saw him. And a return set us up down at the 4-yard line. So you're first and goal at the 4 after another interception. So I think you get a couple of looks at this, and I'll show you this angle first. I find this really cool. So 3 receivers to the wide side of the field, 1 in the boundary, so it's 3 by 1. And look what State's doing defensively. Pre-snap, again, 2 safeties in the middle of the field, showing the quarterback what looks like 2 high safeties, but that's not what they're doing. They understood that his reputation was that he last year had a problem with turnovers in the middle of the field between those hatches. Out here outside in these areas, he's really good. Even deep ball, he's really good. Outside the hashes here, really good. But in here in the middle of the field is where mistakes would happen. So State is showing him 2 safeties, but they are playing cover 3 by sending 1 deep, 1 deep, 1 deep. And this safety is a robber, kind of like what we saw with Banks. He's coming down in here to muddy the picture. Well, by virtue of that call, the fact that he's going to get into that underneath, intermediate here and cover in this area in sort of a zone robber look, that's why when a receiver goes across the face of Jett Johnson right here as a linebacker, he's able to let him go and flow into this underneath zone and flows right out into the throwing lane, and the quarterback doesn't see him. And it's because of the call. And one of the reasons the quarterback doesn't see him either is because of Bookie Watson coming off the edge, who comes clear at about the time he's trying to release, and he gets both hands in his face. So you can see it. Tight end goes across Jett's face, but he's in zone coverage, and he's to be here. So he doesn't get distracted by the tight end because you got zone coverage underneath with a drop in safety. He's just looking at the eyes of the quarterback right now. Drop into his lane, make a play on the ball. And again, I got to let it go. Throwing from the pocket. I got a bearing down Bookie Watson, getting his hands up. Quarterback just releases it right into a defender that he can't see. So excellent defensive call and design, and that's how it works. Teammate for teammate. You can see from behind what he could see. TV showed it to you pretty good right here. Again, this is the tight end going across. Safety's coming down. It is not a two-deep deal. It is a single high safety. So Jett lets him go to the safety, runs out into the throwing lane out here. He can't see him because, he's not a tall guy to begin with. Look to his right, okay? And that's the other thing, eyes. Okay, so he's looking to his right? So initially he does not see Jett drop. He's not looking that way. He's using his eyes to look somebody off. And when he comes back, don't underestimate the fact that he's got a opposing jersey free to him and he knows it. And it speeds him up just a little bit. Zip right to a teammate. Come back down here, you get zone run. Tight end's blocking back, so he's not in the picture play side. But these four are left tackle Percy Lewis, guard Nick Jones, center Cole, and right guard Lasoya are combo to linebacker and effectively supposed to be, combo to linebacker. And watch how it gets stepped through. It's kind of muddy, but it works because Cole gets one diving at his legs trying to plug things up. He just lays on him right here. Lasoya sees that and just moves right on up. And the thing is, they kind of singled up Lewis out here, but and he's on the tackle, but because of the initial angle from Woody, this linebacker runs himself out of it. Just runs right into a guy being blocked. And so because of that, you got the two guards who have stepped up on a linebacker who has no chance right here. Now, it's backside. It cuts it off and keeps it from being a touchdown. Got on his legs right there. You kind of see that happening. The play was diagnosed pretty well early. And Cam Jones has got his head on the outside on that backside tackle. If he steps across, he's got a better chance to cut him off and get Woody in the end zone. So I don't know if he misstepped here or what. But regardless, his backside, it keeps him out. And I like here that you get a hurry up, line right up, back up on the ball, give it to him, punch it in there. Same play. Just run the same thing twice, stick it in there, and you're up 14-zip. All right, here's an excellent play in center field by Shaun Preston, who had a heck of a ball game back there, senior safety. This on 3rd and 4, interception on a deep corner, making a play on the ball in the air, kind of take it away from the receiver. Excellent play. A couple things about this one. They changed it up. Okay, so you see it's 3rd and 4. Their formation, ball on the left hash here, so they go sort of tight formation with a tight end. So 2 receivers with a, tight to the line of scrimmage here and a tight end off, and 2 receivers stacked out on the hash. And look how State's playing it. They line him up in center field. Okay, so he's sort of like a single high safety pre-snap. State has their 3 down linemen. This is lineman personnel, and 3 linebackers walked up. And it looks like they're all coming. Okay, so watch on the snap how this could confuse a quarterback and why defenses do this. You got 6 guys right now, 4 on the line of scrimmage, 2 walked up into these gaps, Jett and Bookie Watson. It looks like all 6 are coming, right? But not quite. It's really only 4. Now they're keeping a back in. They got 6-man protection because 5 linemen in the back staying in. But what State's doing here is they are in coverage. Free center fielder Preston, just follow the ball. This is man free. Man to man, jump in man, man to man, man to man on the tight end. Okay, so it's man free coverage. Man underneath with a free safety in center field can roam around. But down here, instead of bringing all 6, they're only bringing 4. And the personnel they're bringing are 3 linebackers, 1, 2, 3, 1 defensive lineman, but dropping the 2 tackles. Pickering, and I guess that's Crumity, this is a zone blitz. Okay, so it's like blitz, but here's your zone. You got these 2 guys dropping in here, they play underneath and take things away to a back or underneath, and everybody else is man with a safety in center field. Now, he pumps, and this is going to draw the safety over. Pumps out there, instead of throwing it for a first down on the break to number 4, top left of your screen, trying to get a little more, puts it in there, and Preston just read his eyes the whole way and went and got the football. It's a great job of playing the ball in the air. I love this look at it for 2 reasons. One, it's field level. You get a look at it, but 2, you kind of get to see. My view from the radio booth is up here on the west side. I never get to see the west side of the stadium, what the crowd looks like. Looks like a good crowd over there. But again, there it is. Receiver's got a shot at it. Nice coverage by Furge underneath, and doesn't get his hand on the ball. It kind of gets through. Excellent job here by Preston to come down with it. Make sure the receiver can't get it. All right, remember the underneath screens in the first half? A couple different ones. One they catch, one that goes for a touchdown. Well, here we are in the third quarter, and Tulu Griffin is in the circle. And so watch the play with those previous screens in mind, because believe me, these defenders, they remember those screens. So watch this one. Pump, and now we're up top for a touchdown. So a great play call at a great time and nice execution. You kind of using previous stuff in the game to get you open here, up 14-7. And so the difference is, again, you've got not 4 eligible receivers, but it kind of looks like it if you look, because they use a tight end on the line right here. It's like an extra tackle, right? Because he's covered up. Tight end can't go out, but he's on the line of scrimmage. And with Tulu over here, they're pumping that screen. It looks like it, but this is Wally who is up and back to draw the fake. And it is Robinson up, like stalking, release. Same thing for Tulu, hesitate, and outside, switch him up, and he's the one that gets the ball. Good job by Will, catch, pump to the running back, pump those shoulders right there to draw the defender in, and as if you really needed it. They're already coming up there for Wally. So good job by Wally. Draw some attention. Stalking. Here we go. And now when I saw it live, we were watching from the press box, I thought the ball's going here to Justin Robinson, but it didn't. It goes outside, and they both are wide open for a touchdown. In the second half, third downs were an issue for Mississippi State. They weren't great on third down throughout the game, but their third quarter, late third quarter, into the fourth quarter, there was a few times where they really could have, retaken the momentum and taken hold of the game, but couldn't quite do it because they couldn't stay on the field offensively on third down. Let's take a look. All right, so third downs in the second half became an issue for State. They got stopped on 3 third downs here in a pretty short period of time. And this is one where they're going to motion the back across, bring him back, lead him up in here with a tackle, and try to go get the first down on 3rd and 1. And it really does look like it's there initially, and I like the call. It's just they run a twist in the middle and get a guy unblocked to stop it. So it's less about an individual play than it is a defensive call at the right time, at the right place. And I'll show you what I mean. So we're far away, but you can see here, State has an extra offensive lineman in the game. Okay, so this is Leon Bell, tackle. Backside tackle is Percy Lewis in the game right here. So you have 6 offensive linemen in the game with the extra tackle. And the tight end walked up here on 3rd and 1. So 6 linemen, it's a heavy package, and a big back in Lee who's yo-yo motion and lead up into the hole right here. So on the initial snap, watch what happens. Everybody's stepping across, and this is like a zone deal to the left. Center, there goes, guard and tackle. Lasoya, tackle, which is Cam Jones, and then Bell as well. And it all looks blocked. If you were to just kind of keep your eyes on these 2 defenders who have lined up with their hands down right in the middle of your deal here. So pre-snap, here they are, these 2 guys right here. This is where it happens. And the reason that it happens is because even with these extras and you're zoning it back this way, what happens is they run a twist. So they run a twist that kind of goes with it. So the farthest away, the tackle, comes across, the nose delays and comes around, and because of the play call, he finds himself in the hole. And you think, well, don't you have somebody to account for that? Well, I think on the call you do. But, Cam is the tackle. He's got the farthest going across. But it cuts off the guard and the center from being able to come back into the hole with this twist. Meanwhile, you got a nice seal on the edge by the tight end. And Bell, his responsibility is to step up to this next level. So his eyes aren't, he would actually have to adjust to see and hear that somebody's unblocked on 3rd and 1. He doesn't see it. They run the twist. Because of the leverage on this guy coming across, you can't get guard and center. He's able to fall back into the hole. He stepped up to the next level, okay? And the yo-yo back comes in here, and he's here. So you can get back there. And so it's fixing to be a 3rd and 1 touchdown is what this is about to be, if not for the fact that they have called a twist right here in the middle that brings the nose into the hole, and you can't cut him off. The only thing that would have saved this play is if there was some sort of adjustment where Bell just sort of senses he's coming into the hole, I got to step, and I got to take him right here on 3rd and 1, so we make sure. Either Bell or, as I'll show you here, the running back. If the running back gets in there, and he's already looking at the next level, like you say, if his job is to if that's his job is to come back through and go to the next level, he's already doing that. If he were to sense it and peel back and get in to the nose tackle, it's a nice job of the tackle just sit in the hole. It's one-on-one with the back. They had the right twist call at the right time, and he takes on the back, and you don't get it on 3rd and 1. A little bit of a look at it here again. See all those blockers, right? And you think we're going to go tackle and guard down here, back to the nose with the center. We're going to get that. We're leading up with the heavy back in the hole. This is going to be out the gate. But right there, they just twist right where the ball is going across. It occupies him. Little delay. Sift back into the hole, and he's waiting on the ball carrier. So you got to take care of that somehow. So here's a later 3rd down here in the 4th quarter. And I think you have a protection issue. Now, I don't know for a fact, but what it looks like to me is it's probably the back who fails to pick up the linebacker, who delays on coming in there to get the quarterback. If you watch, they're going to bring 3 down, a 4th, and a 5th. Do I have the right numbers? Yeah. So they bring in 5, and the 5th is the linebacker late. And the back checks out of there. So that's how you get you on 3rd and 9. So you're in a passing situation. They put pre-snap a safety in center field back here off screen. Formationally, State's got tight end into the boundary 3 wide. So it's 3 by 1 with a tight end right there. And when you look at alignment, it's anything from man to sort of cover 3 zone, depending on how they play this in coverage. What he knows he's got is 5 and 6 potentially in protection. It looks like to me the back is checking in protection, and I don't know what his rules are on this particular play, like where he's supposed to check. On the snap, you're good. You're golden, right? They're only bringing 4. And your right tackle out there, far right, Jones does a nice job. I mean, this is an air raid tackle who's used to picking up this stuff to the outside. Really good job. But if you look, the back has checked. Pittman, he has checked, but he's kind of checking left. He's forgotten, or not paying attention to this linebacker, and he's slipping out here. And, again, whether it's a side adjust for the linebacker, which it probably is, he's stepping down and looking at this back and all this, and people saying, okay, well, he's going to see if he leaves. But he looks like to me, he's just figuring out where to come from. He's not really, this backer never looks to me like somebody who's going to jump on this running back in coverage. It looks like to me he's coming down all the way, just looking where he's going to come from. Slow plays it a little bit. And so, again, if you're the running back, you got to hang in there and see this. Because if you release and the linebacker times it right, this is what you get. Is he's free to the QB. You know, if you had some sort of deal, check down, you're going to catch it and make yards, but that's what they want you to do on 3rd and 9. And so they've got you right here by beating the protection. This gives you a little bit of a look also at Pittman and sort of the alignment of the linebacker. Again, I don't know what the coaching point here is exactly in this protection. It just looks like to me he checks and just sort of bypasses and takes his eyes off, slips out the backside, and here we go. Now, it could also be an offensive line deal. There is no doubt it could be. You know, it does not look to me like Cole Smith, an experienced center, is thinking that linebacker is in any way his responsibility, because if he is, you're not going to see Cole too many times just turn and not look at the guy. So I'll just assume that it's a back deal right here. This is an interesting one to me because I'm not sure that I entirely understand all the reads. I'm trying to figure it out, you know, watching it. It's a 3rd and 3 where you get stopped down here at least to the field goal. Motion across away from the tight end, and the zone never gets through. So there's a couple of things, you know, on this 3rd and 3. One is your backside tackle here, Dollar Bill, just kind of gets cut off and beat to the inside and pushed across. So, you know, before you even get to next level reads and stuff, if you get that one, there's a chance maybe you step through. I don't know that. And if we look a little closer at the, you know, what is potentially a read, like if this is an RPO where you've got this motion coming across and you got option to pull, you do have a linebacker stepping into play side. And they are not treating this defensive end here with his hand down as an in-man line scrimmage if indeed a quarterback is reading it. You know, typically the zone read stuff, RPO stuff, you got some defender that you're accounting for with the read, not with a block. And so if that's the case here, this one's getting blocked across, and then it would be the next one. Even though he's not on the line, you'd be, I guess, treating him the same as that first outside that you would read in an RPO deal, right? See what I mean? So let's say you are reading it like an RPO. And if you see this, if you indeed are reading this, then this would be a pull. You would not give right here, you would pull. And again, I'm just trying to figure it out. Let's say that's the case. Let's say, you know, here comes your option to keep or throw off the pull on RPO based on not the end that we're blocking, but the next one we're not. He's downhill and you know, to the zone side. Well, what would cause you to go ahead and give it? One is it's short yardage. Maybe it's a straight give, I don't know. But if it's a read, the other thing is this safety flying downfield full speed. That could be the other thing. You see that? Again, let's just say hypothetical. If I'm reading this guy RPO-ish, then possibly this guy flying downhill like he's mad about something could, on 3rd and 3, give me a look of, I don't need to pull and go that way. And, you know, again, looks like this where you're motioning to a 2-receiver side already, making it 3 on one side. We're rotating these safeties, 1 down, 1 back, and that could be part of the reason is we're going to take care of some RPO stuff over here by bringing another defender into it. So maybe that's why you go ahead and give. But let's say if you pull it right here. Let's say, again, hypothetical. What if I'm reading? What if I pull? Safety has come flying down here. Now what? I've pulled right here. I've pulled, and I raise up and dump it to this guy, right? Hoping I don't get tattooed here before I do it by this defender off the edge. This is what makes it tight. But if I do, and he can get his head around, I can dump it to him, then we may just get a block here that would get us a first down or get to the edge. At any rate, it gets stopped because, again, you're across the face of the tackle, and there is no cutback because this defender who was unblocked on the edge has stepped right down. So if it's a read, maybe you got the wrong one right there. Again, you know, maybe it's straight give. It looks like a read to me. And, you know, look, he's a little bit here. He's not necessarily straight down there. And then as soon as it's a give, there's nowhere to go. Linebacker in the hole, he's in the cutback. It would take one heck of a stop and spin move to get out of that. And then Will would have to become a blocker. If you pull this right here, maybe you can get it to Tulu in time to get to the edge. Tulu's about to get his head around right there, so it might have just been one where the defense did a better job of playing the play than you did. Sometimes that's how it happens. 3rd and 5. You look where they're snapping it, from the 46. All right, 3rd and 5, they're in a bunch. State's manning it up. Looks like man, looks like man, looks like man. And what happens, that outside brings across and then runs the deep corner. So D-Cam's got to come across and chase him, and he hooks him right here and holds him, and they do call it. And on 3rd and 5, in this situation, here's the situation, 3-point game, 4 minutes left. I like the penalty. He comes across, he holds him. Because again, they're at the 46. This ball, if he doesn't hold him early in the route, they're catching it on the 30. Right there, first down and field goal range inside the 30. And I want to show you why in this particular situation it's big, and we'll look at it. Instead of a 20 to 25 yard completion or more, if you don't hold him, it's only a 15-yard penalty. And in that situation, you save a little field position. I'll show you the penalty here. He's on the outside. His man comes across. He chases him, turns, and when he breaks, it's a great route, he grabs him. All right, so you grab him, and you do get caught right here, but you don't give up a 30-yard play. Instead, it's a 15-yard penalty. As you come back later and you make a play right here, force him up in the pocket, he decides to throw. Excellent coverage down the field, batted ball, back to Jett Johnson, who was Johnny on the spot all night long. And, so also when you notice this, you look here, they are in 6-man protection. Well, it's really 6-man protection with the back checking, so he would be the 6th. The tight end looks like he's blocking, but he's not. It's just chip and release right here, and so that's what happens. And what I like is, this is Eric Taylor, 92, from Southwest Mississippi Community College. Watch him extend those arms, get in, nice swim move, got underneath, and here we go. I'm on pressure and flush him. So get him off schedule right away. He thought about hitting the back underneath on 1st and 10, but right away, flush him, get him off schedule. He does a good job off schedule, but you'd rather be off schedule than on. This is Trevion Williams, a young player with a tremendous upside. Watch him attack this double team right here. Into him, extend the arms, throw one, keep fighting, not bad. Trying to close down, at least make him feel like he needs to go ahead and throw it. And Bookie Watson's doing a nice job staying in the middle to give him the look of a defender. It's going to be hard to catch him one-on-one if he decides to run. At any rate, throwing the ball in the middle of the field. And there's DeCarlos Nicholson, who has really, I feel like, been a shot in the arm to them at corner for the last 2 weeks. And making a big play there, batting it to a teammate. Let's see, any looks? Yeah, you can see it right here. Flushed up, plenty of room to run, just decides he's going to try it. Probably a risky deal. But this is an excellent break on the ball. Little contact, but doesn't hook him from behind. So he's going after the ball with 2 arms. He's in position. Ball just a little bit behind the receiver. And a really nice job. You got to be in great position to make that happen, right? I mean, like you're running with him absolutely step for step, no separation. And that's why DeCarlos Nicholson can make that play and tip it to a teammate. And if you notice, the guy who's the happiest about it might be Shaun Preston, number 7. All right, and remember Pittman, who missed that block earlier in the game and pass pro. You don't get down, you come back, you keep playing, you make another play. And how big is this? We're running a screen on the second play, really third play of overtime, and he's got me. Look, man, if Pittman gets tackled right here on 2nd and 14, it's now 3rd and 15, 3rd and 16 in overtime. And we're just playing a preserve a field goal if he gets tackled right there. And what does he do? Run through it, foot in the ground, get to the end zone, dare you to lean on me, I'm over the top. Nothing stopping that kid from getting in the end zone. Great play. All right, so here we are. They've got a chance. They got a score to tie it up in overtime. First down, you get nice coverage down the field by Chris Keys. You can kind of see, and he's not the only one that's in good coverage right here, but you're matching it up in man with the safety going back to the middle of the field. You get a nice man coverage on the outside on the post go, and on a deep corner, Keys just smothers it. I mean, he's all over it. If you watch the route, inside move, doesn't get shaken, doesn't spin out right here. Now, I'm going to tell you, yeah, reaches that arm out and grabs him, but what we're going to see is he turns him loose in time to not draw the call. He doesn't hang on. You cover underneath. Now he grabbed him right here. He did. Gets underneath, both arms free, and now goes for the football so he doesn't draw the call. I think we got another look at that. This was a nice job. So Nicholson again on the outside. Look at the man-to-man covers. Look, I'm going to tell you something. That is really good, okay? This right here is really good. Watch the move. Hand extended and turns with him. I don't know how he knows he's going there. But Nicholson knows, okay, he's going to the inside and turns and runs with him step for step. Okay, so you can't cover that any better. Plus, he's running him into a safety in the middle. Keys knows he don't have any outside help. It's just him in the sideline. Turns his hips. Now, he grabs him. He does. He grabs him right here. But get your arm off of him. Look at this. See, he doesn't hang on. If he hangs on, especially with the ball in the air now, he's calling it. This guy's going to call it. But he turns him loose. See his left arm? His left arm's already off of him. So now the ball's in the air. The official does not see a hook. He's underneath, and it's almost a pick. That is excellent coverage at a big time and overtime. You got to make a play. Check out our cheerleader right there. I don't think he can believe that he caught it. Thinking about taking it home with him, isn't he? So big time play. All right, and this is third down in overtime. Watch Watson right here. Bookie Watson always has a knack for when something's got to be done. Comes around, get there. And this is a guy who, if you're lazy coming off the edge, he's just going to run away from you. But the urgency and Watson knowing I'm there, this tackle can't get me and I'm going to surprise him. It's like coming out from behind the door when you walk in the house. Boo! Now look what he's got to do. He can't take a sack on 3rd and 10. Has just got to get rid of it. And given the way things are gone, he's lucky to get rid of it without it being picked. And, of course, you make the running stop on 4th down. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if you haven't already, maybe consider subscribing, clicking that bell there for notifications when we post a new video. And there will be some more coming your way this week. Other games that are up, Alabama, Texas, just to name one important one. And also check me out on Instagram. Give me a follow there if you haven't already. I would appreciate that, especially if you like photography, @Radio Wyatt. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.